I'm going to be talking about two kinds of IRS tax collectors. Before I do that, it helps to put that in context. The IRS has 6 divisions. Those include the examination division, that's where audits are done. Also the appeals division, that's where you file different kinds of appeals, of course. There's also the Office of General Counsel. Those are people that act as the attorneys for the IRS. There's the criminal investigation division, and then there's the collection division. We will be talking about the collection division today. Why? Because that is the division that most affects my clients and people like those that are probably watching this video. The job of the collection division is to come after you to collect unpaid back taxes and to get you to file unfiled tax returns. That's their only job. They're paid to collect your money. Let's talk about what they're not paid to do. What they're not paid to do and what they're not trained to do is to advise you about other options that you may have other than paying in full. They're not trained or experienced enough to devise a customized strategy for you so that you can pay as little as possible to the IRS. Of course, the IRS is not going to advise you how to pay them the least amount. It's not going to happen. There are 3 groups within the collection division. Before I get into each of those 3 different types of personnel, I'd like to give you some general facts about the people who work for the IRS. The IRS is a cross-section of people. And what that means is that some of them are intelligent and some are not intelligent. Some have lots of training and some have very little training. Some are nice, but some are mean and some are even nasty. Some are helpful, but some are not helpful. They don't even know what customer service means. Okay, I think you get the picture. When you call the IRS, who you get on the phone or which revenue officer gets assigned to you is just the luck of the draw. There's no way to predict it, and it greatly affects how a tax case proceeds. Okay, so they're all paid to collect your money. So when they're taking the money out of your wallet, what that really means is whether they're going to give you a smile or give you a scowl. And so now let's get on to talking about the 3 groups of people. The first group is the Automated Collection Service, also known as ACS. Those people are basically computer in a call center. They sit all day long, hundreds of them at different locations across America, calling people on the phone using an automatic system, calling people that haven't filed their tax returns or owe them money. When they get you on the phone, they're going to be following a script, and that script causes them to ask several questions like, when do you plan to pay your tax in full? Where do you bank? Where do you work? The reason they're asking that, even though they already may have that information on hand, is to verify that information. Or if they don't already have it on hand, they're attempting to find out where those targets for money are. These people have very little training. They have no discretion. They use a script, and they're after just a few little items. Okay, but while they're sitting there, they have the ability to file liens on you, to issue wage levies, and to issue bank levies and other things. So even though they're not intelligent, they're dangerous. The second group is called the large dollar unit. These people are also kind of sit in a call center, but they handle larger dollar cases. And so they have a little more training and a little bit more discretion, but they're kind of like automated collection service. The third group is revenue officers. Revenue officers are field officers, field collection officers. They have the most training and the most discretion. They're the folks that come out and they knock on your door and say, hey, we're here to see you. They leave cards in your door. They drop by your place of business. They ask, where you bank. They want financial information from you. They want you to fill out financial forms. They'll put you under deadlines as to when to reply back. And they can get mad. They will get mad if you don't respond to them. And they can do bad things. The reason we need to talk about how the IRS, the IRS is different from a regular creditor. A regular creditor has to sue you first and get a judgment and then attempt to collect it. The IRS does not have to get a judgment to collect against you. All they have to get is something called an assessment. An assessment is merely a formal little notation on a piece of paper that you owe them money. Then the second step is they must send you out a series of collection letters. And once you get the last one, you are now a target to be attacked. And as some people say, well, I didn't get those notices. Well, you're supposed to, and most of the time a taxpayer, a client doesn't get those notices is because they moved away from the last known address that the IRS has on you. If you go to the post office and you fill out a change of address, that has no effect on the IRS at all. They can still send and will still send to the old address. Now, whether that mail gets forwarded to you by the Postal Service is a different matter. And so you have to give a specific change of address to the IRS or file the next year's or the next tax period's tax return in order for them to know where you're at. So that confuses a lot of clients. And so over the next several videos, what I'll be discussing is ways that the IRS can hurt you so that you can be on guard and watch for that. But I'm also going to be talking about how to protect yourself and ways and options and strategies that you may have to deal with your IRS problem.